Good morning. Good morning. It is the first Monday Tai Chi movement for well-being session that we've had in 2021. So welcome to Tai Chi Movement for Wellbeing. I am absolutely thrilled to be here. It's funny, isn't it? I sort of need you guys to actually practice it fully. So I'm wondering if I'll be slightly gentler, slightly less when we finish than before I started. So great to have you with me. So for those of you who may not have done this session, this is very different from your traditional fitness type session. It's not actual Tai Chi. I'm not a Tai Chi master, but what I've been done is I've taught some of the movements that are used in Tai Chi and Qigong and formulated it into a simple sequence that can be done standing or it can be done in a chair. The movements are very much focused on flow, gentle movement, and one of the principles we're going to move with today is soft limit. So if you want to think about soft limit, it's a bit like if that movement really hurts you, if reaching up hurts you, how far can you go before it gets painful? So what we want to do is work within the range of movements that are not painful, but work for you. And basically recognize that a circle here is the same as a circle here, is the same as a circle here. Okay, it's just a smaller circle. So soft limit is where we're going today. So before we go much further, I am going to do the sequence standing. But if you want to do the sequence in a chair, I just want to show you how we do it. So you can see I've got a chair without arms, which is the best way. You can adapt to anything, but what you do want to make sure of is that your feet are comfortably on the floor. So if you find that your feet swing, if you sit back, just sit slightly forwards on the chair, okay? Because we want to almost connect to the ground through these sitting bones on that chair and through your feet on the floor. And once we're here, we can do all the movements. We just need to be a little bit careful on two dragons wrapping, seated, okay, because you might find you hit the chair back. So I'm going to move the chair backwards. If you would like me to do a specific seated session, please email me or message me on the live chat and let me know and I can arrange that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the feet, and you can wear shoes, okay? You can wear whatever footwear you like. I like to be able to be barefoot so I can feel the ground. Feel that foot making contact with the ground. Just feel that ground beneath your feet. Just be conscious of the fact that that ground's not going anywhere, so we can be balanced. Now, we're going to think about this long spine. We're going to be aware of how we stand. So if we tend to stand a little bit like this or a little bit with that bottom sticking out, see if you can just lengthen, grow that long back. Let these shoulders relax, let these legs lengthen. See if we can lift that chest slightly, but keep that nice relaxed stance. So we're not that Sergeant Major, shoulders up, long back, relaxed shoulders. And then we're going to just see if we can take the weight into the front part of the foot. We're going to take the weight into the heels. We're not lifting them off. Just going to be aware of those feet on the floor. And we're going to look down at our feet and we're going to notice if we tend to stand a little bit like this, or if we've got one foot in front of the other. We're going to see if we can get those feet directly underneath the hips. And we're going to see if we can get them as close to 12 o'clock on a clock face that feels comfortable. Don't worry if there's a slight outward turn, but if you tend to stand like this, see if we can start to bring you back to that alignment that will eventually feel very natural. Now we're going to imagine that you're just growing a big long tail right from the bottom of your tailbone. And this tail's quite heavy. It's like a big long kangaroo tail. It doesn't quite meet your heels. It doesn't quite reach the floor. So what we're going to do is with that lovely long spine, we're going to take these knees just gently off lock, place that tail on the floor behind your heels. See if you can lift that tail just by straightening out those legs. And then we're going to place that imaginary tail on the floor behind the heels. So your heels are down. It's a very small movement. We're just taking those straight legs, taking the knees off lock, placing that tail down. I sometimes liken it to settling like a boat in water. Okay, so when you place a boat on water, it doesn't just stay on top. The hull will just go underneath the water so it settles, and that's what we're doing. And our balance is going to be a lot better for that, rather than that, so we can relax into that ground. Now we're going to go into our self-massage. We're going to take the palms, we're going to rub those palms together. We're going to see if we can create some friction, some heat even. And then we're going to take those hands, place them over the face. If you're not comfortable with placing your hands on your face, just place them on your head. We're going to let that head relax into those hands, soften those shoulders, breathe out. And then we're going to rub those hands together again. So it's almost as if we're trying to create a little bit of heat. We're not rubbing too hard. We're not creating tension in the shoulders. And then again, just relax. Place those hands over the face and let that head just relax into those hands. This is your private space. Drop the mask. Just be yourself. This is your session. This is something that you're doing today. It's just for you. And you deserve it. Last time. Notice how the skin of the face feels. The contours, cheekbones. And then when you feel ready, we're going to bring those hands away from the face. We're going to let these fingertips almost dance over the head, over the head. Okay, if that's uncomfortable, just find something that is comfortable. Just imagine. We're going to take these fingertips wherever you feel you want them to go. We're going to come then down to the chin, over that top lip, around the cheekbones, to the temples, and then along those cheekbones, the eye socket, up the bridge of the nose, over those eyebrows, back to the temples. And then we're going to just gently massage the earlobes. You might find you have to just shake the arms out because your shoulders are tight. Just give those earlobes a little massage. And we're going to come around the outside of the ears. I'll show you all the way to that little knobbly bit. We're going to give that a massage. And then we're going to relax those arms. So this is our self-massage section. So we're showing this body a little bit of attention. We're going to take those taps to the neck. Now you could use the fingertips. You could use a light fist. You could actually make a, excuse that, that's the dog. You could actually make just a smoothing action if you're feeling in need of gentleness. And we're going to take that movement down the neck, the shoulder, down the outside of the arm. Do excuse my dog barking. And then we're going to come back up the inside. So we're going to see if we can make this arm quite absorbent, this wrist nice and floppy. And then we're going to relax and we're going to notice if the arms feel different. We've done this side, but we haven't done this side. And then we're going to do the same. So down the outside of the arm, noticing this body. Now if that hurts, you might need to go to that smoothing action or just make the taps a little bit lighter. So you're listening to your body. We're just working out what your body needs today. And then we're going to come here. We're going to bring it to the front of the chest. I'm going to stand back a little bit so you can. This is our gorilla tapping, named by our little friend Ellis Butch. He said, I love this. I think he's 7. And we're just going to cover the front of the body with that massage. Okay, just take it to where you feel you need it most. And then we're going to bring it around to the back, to the kidneys. And you can do it alternate, you can do it together. We're then going to come down the backs of these legs. So we're going to come down the backs of the legs. Now, you might need to bend the knees if you've got any back issues, and only go as far as you feel comfortable. So you don't have to go all the way down. Then we're going to come back up the inside of the legs. Okay? And then we're going to do the same to the outside. Now, lots of you have done this with me in class. Some of you may not have done. And what I need you to be aware of is there's quite a bit of sort of bending. Try and don't overdo it. Soft limit, that's what we're looking at. And then we're just going to shake it out. Good, brilliant. So it's a really nice way of just getting in tune with your body, releasing any tension. And then we're going to come into our warm-up section. So again, that lovely stance, that long spine, feet connected to the floor, weight evenly placed through the middle of the foot. Remembering that big long tail we talked about earlier, we're just going to take those knees off lock, place that tail behind the heels. And then we're going to straighten out those legs. You can barely see me doing it. It's such a small movement. This time, as we take those knees off lock, we're going to let the arms just rise up as if there was a light ball or a cloud just resting in the crook of these forearms. The shoulders are relaxed, chest strong. And then we're going to just gently come into diagonal repatterning. We're going to breathe in as we come to center. Breathe out as we move away from center. And as we make that connection, opposite hand, opposite foot, we're letting that weight come down into this one leg, pushing into that floor, coming up and down. The breathing out and in. We're going to do 5 movements in each to give you the chance to get used to the movements. We're looking for flow. There's that same speed out, same speed back. Now we're going to let these arms become absolutely loose and floppy. If you have trouble with those knees, what we're looking to do is just take the weight into one leg and the other, but we're keeping those knees bending in line with that big toe. So make that movement smaller if those knees aren't comfortable. You can actually take the feet a little bit wider if you need to. You can let that head turn. Sometimes you almost get a little bit of a kidney massage if those arms are really floppy. And then as you just gently stop that leg movement, the arms take a few moments just to find their place, to settle down. Now we're going to straighten out those legs again. And then again, like that boat settling in water, take them off lock. The arms rise up. You imagine that you've got that really light beach ball just resting in those arms. And we're not leaning forwards over it. They're just resting there. The elbows are here, not here. Okay, so you can really relax with this movement. Slide those shoulders down. Now we're going to lift your chest over that beach ball. We're just opening up space in that lower back, and then we're going to come back to that start position. And then we're almost lifting that chest, creating space in the front of the body, and gently coming back. And remember that soft limit, it's all very gentle. Then we're going to lift and open up this side of the body. We're going to come back to center, and then we're going to lift, open up this side of the body. So our vital organ warm-up is going to put those movements all together. So we're going to start by opening up that space in the lower back, lifting that chest, and then we're going to roll around, open up this side of the body, open up the front of the body, and then we're going to open up the other side. So if you imagine 4 points of a compass, we're coming south, east or west, I'm not sure which way it'll come, to north and the other way. Now we're going to breathe out as we move towards south. We're going to breathe in. So it's very much a movement for this trunk. We're going to breathe out. And then when we get to the top, we're going to change direction. And we're just opening up that side, coming down, opening up that lower back, opening up the other side, opening up that abdomen, breathing out. We're letting that head relax, that neck relax, that face relax. Try not to hold that head in one position. Find that comfortable position that works for you. Shoulders are soft. Just going to take one more of these. And then we're going to come back to center. We're going to let those arms relax by the side. Now just stand within yourself for a moment. I'm going to shut this door. It's the only problem, isn't it? But we used to say in St. Mary's Hall that we need distractions because this is a sequence that we want to work in real life. So come back to those bodies, come back to that long spine, soft shoulders. We're going to soften those knees and then we're going to come back up. So we're settling like that boat in water, and then we're going to fly like wild geese. So as we lengthen up, as we breathe in, imagine that you're on one of those wildlife documentaries, flying like wild geese. The arms are the wings. It's as if I'm lifting you up by your elbows. There's softness, there's flow. Breathing out and we're breathing in. In. Pushing that breath. I'm going to take one more of these. Then we're changing that movement to circles. So it's as if I'm lifting your wrists up and back. And those circles are finished. It's as if the end of that circle, we're just tracing that lower spine, down that tail, all the way to the heels. Breathing in, breathing out. Take one more breath in and out. Now, as we straighten those legs, we're going to breathe in and we're opening to the day. Breathing out. It's that welcome. So we're going to think about that soft limit. So as we open, if this fullest point feels uncomfortable, we may have gone too far. I'm going to see if we can just bring it in, relax those shoulders, and find that point we think, oh, that feels full, but it's good for me. And then you're going to breathe out. So we're exploring that soft limit, not coming too far. You can relax. There's no unpleasant pain in the shoulder or the chest. And we're going to sweep down. Bend the knees, but keep the heels on the floor. Opposite hand, opposite knee. And then we're going to open. So those knees bend, they bend in line with that second toe. You don't have to go all the way down to the knees. You don't have to make that circle so big. Find a circle that works for you. Breathing in, breathing out. So those legs straightening as those arms come up, as the arms come down, the legs bending. It's a powerful move. And then we're rowing that boat, so we're reversing the move. So as the legs straighten, we're bringing the arms into a circle, palms are down. So we're leading with those thumbs. And again, make that circle the right circle for you. It could be here. Notice that breath out through the mouth. And if you have to breathe in through the mouth, that's fine. So we're settled. Like that boat in water, that tail is down. And we're going to lengthen those legs. And as we place that tail down again, the arms are coming up, shoulders relaxed, elbows just in a comfortable position. Going to gaze at the moon, breathing out, breathing in. So we're taking the weight into this leg, just allowing yourself to see over this shoulder. Breathing out through that shoulder, into those fingertips. And imagine this moon resting in the crook of your arm. We're going to place that moon into the sky and let it go. No beginning, no end to this move. As soon as we get to that furthest most point, the arms coming back, breathing out and in. One more either side. This really strong base, like a trunk, and the roots of the tree growing down through your feet into the floor with balance. Now we're going to take a natural step for the next movement. So I'm going to show you from this angle. We're going to turn this foot away from center. Just going to take the weight into this foot and just take a step out. So that heel is roughly where that big toe was. Once we're there with that tail, we're just going to soften those knees, place that tail behind our heels. We're going to take that ball and we're going to take our weight into that front foot and then into this back foot. We're going to breathe out into the front foot, breathe into the back foot, and then here am I. We're going to breathe in, we're going to breathe out. Breathing in, long spine. Not overreaching, not trying too hard. Notice what happens when we're in that furthest most point. Do you feel unbalanced? See if we can bring it back to that place where we feel balanced. And then when we're balanced, we can relax and flow. And then sliding this foot back, bringing this foot across, moving away from the squeaky floorboard. We're going to do the same on the other foot. Same on the other foot, excuse me. So we're going to turn this foot away from center. Okay, just take your weight down. So this leg is taking the weight, and either step or slide that foot out. And then once we're in that straight leg position, we're going to place that tail down. And just practice that weight transfer, forwards and back. Good. And then when we feel ready, those palms up and then drawing back. Here am I. This is all about being who we are, not trying too hard to be something we're not, just appreciating ourselves for what we are, appreciating our own skills, qualities, all the positive things you do every day. Quite often we only look for the negative. This move is all about looking for the positive. Forget the negatives. They don't matter. Not here. And then coming back to center, relaxing, softening those shoulders, softening that face. And we're going to bring this hand over the other hand, palms facing you, shoulders soft, tail down, waving hands like clouds. So we're going to draw this hand, turn it so the palm is facing the floor, and the other hand is going to follow, taking the weight into this leg, and then this lower hand is going to draw away, become the top hand, and it's as if the lower hand is connected, becomes that lower one. So, with flow, breathing out as we move away from center, but not worrying too much about that breathing. And lose that tension. Relax the toe. Relax the face. Soften those shoulders. Imagine those silk scarves attached to your fingertips. And as we move, those scarves are just making these beautiful swirling lines. Any tension and scarves will drop. You're going to again place that tail down. The arms are going to rise. Shoulders are going to soften. The 5 elements. We're going to breathe in. Breathe out. We're going to breathe in. And breathe. So our tail is down. Our legs straightening. Initiating the move. And that tail comes down again. As we rise. Lifting that tail. And then allowing that tail to come down again. So there's the rise. 4. Rise. And the 4. I'm going to take one more of those. And then bring those silk scarves attached to the fingertips. They're making beautiful flowing shapes. You're making that flow. Settling. Settling like that boat in water. Allowing those toes to spread, relax, sink down into the floor. We're going to take our circle of well-being. So we're going to draw a circle all the way around you, this shimmering line. Okay. Now that tail stays down. Now we can make that circle a little bit bigger if we feel comfortable. It's as if you're lifting that chest over, but the tail stays down. Breathing out. Breathing in. It's a line of well-being. And then we're going to change direction. And as you breathe out, allow that tension. And if you're worried about that lower back, make those circles a little bit smaller. Maybe bend the knees. Let that face soften. Let that head and neck soften. And allow these arms to come down. Returning to center. And draw these hands back in. Draw these palms towards the abdomen. And as we draw in, breathing in, breathing out. You can feel those feet relaxed on the floor. There's flow. So as we come to the end of that sequence, stand within yourself for a few moments. Soften those shoulders, that face. Become aware of maybe some of the sounds around you. Fortunately, no dog barking at the moment. Just move those feet a little bit. I'm going to run through that sequence again. We used to sort of have a little chat in class at this point, and because I can't necessarily get feedback from you, there is a live chat, so if you have got a question, you can post something, but if I don't catch it, what I'm going to do is maybe just work through the more common themes that used to come up. So if you want a comfort break and you want to drink and you don't want to look at this couple of minutes of technique, that's fine. But if you do, we're just going to do a little section on that sort of what we do when the tail is down, and there's a few moves where we actually transfer the weight into one side and the next. So I'm going to get you to imagine that imaginary tail has become almost like a pole. It's quite stiff. So that when we settle like that boat in water, when we place that tail on the ground, we've almost got 3 points of contact. And what we're going to do, we've got that little softness in the knees. We're going to do this move, it's almost folding at the hips. So diagonal repatterning, we're taking the weight into this leg. So the knee may be softening a little bit more, okay? And we're just folding at the hips, but you'll notice the knee stays in line with that second toe. We're not twisting the knee. So the rotation is coming from the hips. And then that arm is almost coming here. It looks like it's coming across the body. But what's happening is because we're folding at the hips are turning this way. And that's what's happening. Okay, so actually that's what's happening with the arm movement. So if you've got a few moments, just practice coming from that straight leg position, feet on the floor, nice and relaxed, coming into that position where the knees are soft, the tail is down, and just practice taking the weight into one leg, the weight into that other leg. Practice that hip folding position, okay? Doesn't come naturally to me, probably comes more naturally to you guys than it does to me. I'm a bit like, so I'm really keen to explore it in this little break section. The other movements we use it for, can't think of any now, waving hands like clouds. So you'll notice, again, that movement looks like we're going side to side. In fact, what's happening, the legs and the hips are sort of giving it that movement. So in fact, we're just in front of this bit all the time. And this abdomen is said to be a very sort of absorbent, sensitive to energy. So what we're almost doing with waving hands like clouds is bringing positive energy in. So you notice you turn the palms to face you as you come side to side. We'll look at that again. So are we ready to go again? Let's do it. So we're going to do 3 movements in each of the moves this time. So we're sort of more in tune with it. It means you don't have to stay in one position so much. Okay. Now we're going to take those feet, really feel that ground beneath them. I want us to feel those roots growing down from the soles of the feet into the floor. That's going to give us our... Okay, and remember, if you would like me to do a seated session, I will definitely do that for you if you need a seated session. So we're going to relax the shoulders away from the ears. Let that tail fall down. It's not quite reaching the floor, so we're going to just soften those knees to let it reach the floor. And then we're going to straighten those legs again. And then this time, as we place the tail down, it's as if the arms rise automatically. I'm going to bring those palms together. And we're going to do a shorter version of this. So let's just once rest in those hands. Take those hands away. Start to bring that massage to the head and find where you feel. The body will tell you where to go. It'll say, oh, over here. Go with it, let it lead you. And then when you feel ready, just take that tap in to the neck, down the shoulder, always down the outside of the arm. If that's hurting, you know what to do. You know what to do. You can just make that tap a little less severe, a little less strong. And then we'll do the same on the other side. It's so easy to get distracted. And one of the beautiful things about this sequence is the mindful aspect that we just want to keep coming back to the body, keep coming back to those feet on the floor. How does that body feel? And it takes practice. Don't get frustrated with yourself. If you think, oh, I keep thinking about dinner, it's a really natural thing to do. Back at the inside. You can take it further than I'm going if you feel comfortable with it. Me with my various lockdown injuries. I keep doing really silly things. Okay, not being mindful. We're just going to loosen out those feet a little bit. So shake those legs. Shake those legs. This is why we need to come back to this. And then while we're finding that position, what do we do if our mind keeps wandering? Well, just gently think about the feet on the floor. Think about that breath out. Just allow those intrusive thoughts just to slip away. To our start position. Tail is down. Arms soft. Diagonal repatterning. Face soft. Hands, fingers soft. Shoulders soft. This is the other move. 2 dragons wrapping, where that weight transfer, that folding at the hips happens. Good. And that distraction, that very loud bark, you just let it seep away as we let those arms go. And then, how long does it take your arm to finally settle? Breathing in, straightening, and as we breathe out, let's try that vital organ warm up. So we're just opening up the base of the spine and the back, and opening up that side, opening up the abdomen, the other side, rolling, breathing in, breathing out. It's called a vital organ warm-up because it gives all these organs, the abdomen, just this movement that doesn't always come when we're doing our everyday activity. We used to say, imagine you have a ball in your hands and we're just rolling this ball. And as we roll over this lower abdomen, the ball is pressing into those organs. And then as we roll away, they're all springing back into shape. You can really feel that happening. Then we're going to come up. Again, just straighten out those legs. Let those arms hang. If I was going to push your arm, it would just swing. And then placing that tail down, heels stay down. Breathing in, flying like wild geese. It's that mirroring concept. So if one side is weaker, has less range, let the weaker side lead. Let's take 2 more. Notice that air filling the lungs. It's as if these arms are pushing that air out, but we're not trying too hard. It's that gentle fill, emptying heaven and earth. So it's as if these palms making circles as the rise and the fall, the rise. And then open to the day. It's that breath in, that breath out. That soft limit. Remember, this feels relaxed, natural. It doesn't feel like you're trying. It just feels like a welcome. Flexing the sky. Imagine parting some of those clouds out there, pulling them to one side, letting that blue sky giving us a glimpse, letting that sunshine just peek through. And then we're going to row that boat, reverse the move. This is this powerful move, so remember that soft limit. Those heels stay down, leading with that thumb. Breathing in, shoulders relax. Then with two hands, that moon resting in them, we're going to gaze at the moon. Noticing things that you may not have seen, just to the side of you, maybe a little bit behind you. They say the good things aren't always straight in front of you. You've got to look. Maybe look somewhere a bit different. And then we're going to take that relaxed stance, that natural step for here am I. I'm going to take this foot away from center. Take that step out. I'm going to breathe in. Clearing those negatives away. Breathing out from the hips. Changing that leading foot. Is that breath in. Toes are soft. Coming back. Tail is down. It's as if you're hugging the sense of something towards you. You're going to move that top hand. It's as if we're catching that magic sound. That lower hand. It's that egg timer. Waving hands like clouds. No beginning. No end. As soon as we reach that one side, coming back to the start. Five elements. We have fire, air. We can feel the earth beneath our feet. Thinking about growth, regrowth, spring, and water. So let's think about that sunshine. Think about that sunshine we had on Saturday. That sun warming the ground, warming the air, warming our skin. Think how that sunshine makes you feel. Capture that spirit. Our circle of well-being. So we're going to take this line and draw it all the way around yourself. Breathing in. There's this weight transfer through this foot to both, into this foot. Same as we come up, and then changing direction. Returning to center. So, this move, so powerful, so positive. You can feel the feet on the floor. There's the breath out. I'm going to slow it down for 2 more. Breathing in, breathing out. That breath in and out. Standing for a moment, just allowing yourself to gently come back into the room, moving the feet, maybe a little shake. And that was our Tai Chi movement for well-being. It is absolutely a big joy for me to come back to it with you. And it's already highlighted sort of things in my practice that I need to work on. So it might be really helpful for you to pick one of the moves and maybe practice it at a point in the day where you just think a minute or 2 minutes of calm would be really useful. I have to say, this is the one, return to center, I come back to. And if it just happens to be that there's people around, just do it without the arms. So just practice that. Making that breath out just slow, focusing on the breath out rather than the breath in. So that's your homework for next week. Anyway, lovely to see you all. Thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you next Monday. Excuse the dog barking. I know what's going on down there. They're winding him up on purpose. They're not, it's fine. So take care, everyone, and I look forward to seeing you next week.